Good evening everyone. Today, I invite you on a journey 3,200 years into the past, to an era when flourishing kingdoms, mighty empires, and thriving trade networks suddenly crumbled into dust. This event, known as the Bronze Age collapse, is one of history's most profound and puzzling catastrophes. Around 1200 BCE, within just a few decades, some of the ancient world's most powerful civilizations, the Mycenaeans, the Hittites, the Egyptians, and others fell into decline or vanished entirely. What caused this sudden breakdown? And how did it reshape the world forever? Let's explore the evidence, the possible causes, and the enduring mystery behind the collapse of the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age, roughly spanning from 3300 to 1200 BCE, was marked by the widespread use of bronze tools and weapons. It was a period of technological innovation, artistic achievement, and international trade. Civilizations such as the Mycenaeans in Greece, the Hittites in Anatolia, the Egyptians, the Assyrians, and the Canaanites developed sophisticated writing systems, legal codes, and vast cities. Trade networks connected Egypt with Mesopotamia, Cyprus with the Aegean, and beyond. This was the first age of globalization, long before modern times. Then, almost without warning, this entire world unraveled. Between 1200 and 1150 BCE, destruction swept across the eastern Mediterranean. Cities burned, palaces crumbled, trade routes were severed, major centers like Ugarit, Mycenae, and Hattusa were abandoned or destroyed. The great Hittite Empire disappeared from history. The Mycenaean Greeks entered a dark age, lasting centuries. Even Egypt, though it survived, was significantly weakened. Archaeological evidence shows widespread fire damage, layers of ash, and sudden abandonment. Literacy declined. Monument building ceased. Large-scale political systems disintegrated. But why? What happened? Historians and archaeologists have proposed several theories. The truth may lie in a combination of factors: a perfect storm of catastrophes. Invasion and the Sea Peoples. Egyptian records describe mysterious raiders known as the Sea Peoples who attacked coastal cities across the Mediterranean. These groups, whose origins are still debated, may have been refugees, mercenaries, or invaders, destabilizing kingdoms from the outside. Natural disasters. Earthquakes were frequent in this tectonically active region. A series of quakes could have devastated urban centers, leaving them vulnerable to invasion or collapse. Climate change and drought. Climate data from lake sediments and tree rings show evidence of prolonged drought around this period. Crop failures would have caused famine, social unrest, and migration. Economic disruption. The Bronze Age relied heavily on international trade, especially for tin and copper, the components of bronze. If these trade routes were interrupted, economies would have collapsed. Internal rebellions and political instability. Some regions may have faced uprisings from within. Evidence of burned palaces and administrative centers suggests that some collapses were not caused by outsiders but by internal revolt. Systems collapse theory. This theory suggests that the interconnected nature of Bronze Age societies made them vulnerable. When one part failed, be it trade, agriculture, or military defense, it triggered a domino effect, causing total collapse. In summary, the collapse likely wasn't due to a single cause, but a convergence of crises that overwhelmed these ancient systems. After the collapse, the eastern Mediterranean entered what some call the Dark Age. Writing vanished in places like Greece. Population declined. Monumental architecture ceased. But out of the ashes, a new world eventually emerged. The Phoenicians expanded their trade networks. The Israelites established kingdoms in Canaan. In Greece, the seeds of classical civilization were slowly planted. Iron, not bronze, became the dominant metal. The collapse paved the way for a new technological and political era, the Iron Age. Ironically, it was from this disruption that the foundations of the modern world were laid. Why does the Bronze Age collapse matter to us today? Because it reminds us how interconnected, complex systems, even ones that seem stable and powerful, can unravel with astonishing speed. Economic dependency, environmental stress, political fragility, and human migration, these were challenges then, and they remain so now. Understanding the fall of the ancient world isn't just about history, it's a warning and a call to resilience in our own time. In just a few short decades, the known world of the Bronze Age was transformed. Cities were lost, empires fell, knowledge was forgotten, and yet, humanity endured. It adapted, rebuilt, and evolved. The story of the Bronze Age collapse is not just one of destruction, it's a story of transformation. And it challenges us to think critically about the fragility of civilization and the enduring strength of the human spirit.